I'm gonna say something controversial. I think the Avatar Aang movie leak might be the best thing that's happened to the franchise in over a decade, and Paramount should be thanking the guy who did it. Okay, not actually thanking, but you get my point. So as we all know, the Avatar Aang movie leak is absolutely everywhere on social media. It's all over TikTok, it's all over Twitter, and you can't avoid it. But today we're going to discuss my plan to save the movie, which Paramount should definitely follow, what this actually means for Avatar Studios as a whole, will it survive, and what does this mean for Avatar The Seven Havens, because we have some brand new detail about that. So let's start off with how Paramount can save the movie. This is my plan. So first, a lot of people who have seen it have said that the movie feels a bit short and a bit compressed in its 90-minute time frame. So people on Reddit and people on Twitter have suggested that this movie could easily have another 30 minutes added and it still would not feel too long. So here's what I'd do. I'd release a trailer right now. No delay, put a trailer out right now to capitalize on all the hype. And everyone's talking about the Avatar leaked movie right now. So what you have to do is put a trailer right now. And then use the time from now to October to announce that you're going to be putting it back in the theaters. No longer is it going to be releasing on Paramount Plus, but instead it's going to get a full worldwide theatrical release. But what you're going to do is add some new scenes to the movie, scenes that have never before been seen, and then you're going to call it a special edition, just like Star Wars did back in the day. That way, the people who have already watched the full leaked movie in 4K online have still got something to look forward to. They're going to have some hype. They're going to be like, ooh, what did they add to the movie? I want to see how it changes the story, how it affects the characters. And they're still going to want to go see it in theaters. And of course, the people who haven't yet seen the leaked version online are going to be so hyped to see the movie in theaters. They're bringing it back to theaters, especially because of all of the buzz and hype that has already been created online and on social media now because of the people who have already seen the movie. So they've already done the marketing for the theatrical release by releasing the leaked version already. And this way, both sides of the fandom will come together and to support the movie. Those who have already seen the leak will be so hyped to see a special edition and see what's added, and those who have not yet seen the leak will be so hyped from the word of mouth from the people who have seen the leaked version. I'd say that's a win-win, and that's the only way to salvage the movie. And one of my top comments from yesterday's video also actually said that Paramount could save this by also saying there is no leak in Ba Sing Se and using that as the basis for the marketing of this movie. And I actually agreed with that comment, and I said, yeah, this will work, but they have to actually embrace what happened. They have to admit that it happened and not try and pretend that it didn't happen. If they do that, there's a chance that they can pull this movie back. And that leads into the bigger point that I wanted to make, which is that this leak essentially did Paramount's job for them. Before last weekend, this movie was dead on arrival. Not because it was bad, it was actually great, but it's because nobody was talking about it, and the studio didn't seem to care about marketing it. The only little tidbits that we've got from this movie was the original image of the whole Team Avatar, and that was like years ago at a Paramount investor conference. And then we got those t-shirt leaks from Target like a few weeks ago, but that's all we've got. That is not enough for a movie of this caliber. This movie is so beautifully animated, and that's all we got. And when the movie got pulled from theaters and put only onto Paramount Plus, which they announced that they were going to do, the director of the movie said that the film really deserves a theatrical experience and to be seen on as big of a screen as possible. And honestly, at the time, I didn't believe her, but now having seen it, she was 100% correct. This movie has to be seen in theaters. So for Paramount not to have put out a single trailer, a single official clip, and not a single piece of key art, it was a travesty. So what did the leak actually do for Paramount? Well, it did their job for them. For the first time since the movie was announced, Avatar was trending everywhere. Millions of people were talking about it, fan reactions were flooding social media, and people had no idea that this movie was even being made. And then they were suddenly made aware of it, and they became very interested. The leaked clips showing the adult gang in action generated more genuine excitement and conversation in 48 hours than Paramount's entire marketing department had managed in 6 years. We've known about this movie for 6 years, and it's been sitting on the shelf for over a year, fully completed in 4K. So without being intentional, this has actually been one of the most effective accidental marketing campaigns in recent history. And the fact that the overwhelming fan response has been, this looks incredible, why isn't this in theaters? That's the kind of organic word of mouth that studios spend tens of millions of dollars trying to manufacture and almost never achieve. They've got it on the platter now, they need to do my plan. Now obviously I want to be really clear about something. What happened to the artists on the project is genuinely awful. It's sad that their work is being passed around like candy, as one of the artists put on Twitter. It's not good for them, sadly, but I mean, with the way Paramount has treated this movie, it's not unexpected that the fans are acting this way. The biggest overwhelming sentiment that I see on Twitter is, well, screw Paramount, they've screwed this movie over, they've screwed us over for so long, so I'm just going to watch it just to screw them. And honestly, as sad as it is for the artists, I cannot blame the fans doing that. And that leads us to the next point. The Avatar could have been the next Star Wars if it wasn't handled so poorly by Paramount. The Last Airbender has more raw franchise potential than almost anything else in animation. The original series, the comics, the Kyoshi and Yang Chen novels, and even the upcoming Saber Interactive AAA Avatar The Last Airbender game have shown us that the world building is so deep and so expansive that this franchise genuinely could have been the next Star Wars in terms of building a massive multimedia universe that keeps the audience invested across across decades and generations, just like Star Wars. But despite all of that, despite 20 years of cultural relevance and a fandom that has never once stopped caring, Paramount and Nickelodeon are still completely lost on how to manage it. The movie went through 3 separate release dates. First we thought it was going to be in 2023, and then we thought it was going to be in 2025, and now of course it's been delayed to October of this year. But I don't think that matters because the movie's already everywhere. They're probably going to have to bring it up. I don't know how much things have changed internally at this point, but there clearly is no drive from the higher ups to push a 2D theatrical quality animated film. The fact that it's finished and that we only got a character poster from a merchandise listing a few weeks ago is insane to me. Let's be real, even if this movie hadn't leaked, there would have been absolutely nothing from Paramount or Nickelodeon leading up to the release. I don't even think we would have gotten a trailer, honestly. I think they would have just dead dropped it on Paramount Plus. That's how little they care about this franchise. If we get anything from Paramount, a trailer, a synopsis, official clips, anything before mid-August, I'll be very shocked. If they change the release date and move it up, hey, hell might have frozen over, but that would be a very good step. But now that leads us to a very important question. Will Avatar Studios survive this debacle? And I do think they will survive. Seven Havens is the next animated series following a new Earth Avatar after Korra, and that already has 26 episodes ordered across 2 seasons with the original creators running the show, and it's in production right now. So that's not getting cancelled over a leak, but the real danger is what happens if Paramount uses the underwhelming streaming numbers on the Aang movie as an excuse to quietly gut the Avatar Studios' future projects. If they do just dead drop it on Paramount Plus, then nobody's going to go watch it on Paramount Plus because they've already seen the leaked version, and then Paramount might use those low numbers to say, Avatar Studios is not working, let's cut all the funding, and that would be a tragedy. So my overall take is, this won't kill Avatar Studios, but it will severely harm them, and especially if they don't put it back in theaters. So what do I think this means for the Seven Havens overall? Well, I think the Seven Havens will have to be pulled up. It was originally supposed to release in 2027 and probably mid-2027, but now I think they have to bring it forward. They're gonna have to release it this year. My ideal release for that would probably be put it in October when this movie was originally supposed to go on Paramount Plus, because then if we release the movie now in theaters, then we'll have all the hype leading up into the Seven Havens, which will be October of this year, and we'll also have the Netflix live action show in between. So there's going to be unlimited hype all the way from now to October if you do the movie in theaters now, Netflix Avatar in the middle of the year, and then finally the immensely hyped Seven Havens in October. And that leads us to the last part of this Avatar news update. I want to share some of the reactions from the artists who worked on the movie and what they're thinking about this whole crazy situation with the leak. So the first one is Jewel, and she said, "We worked on the Aang movie for years with the expectation that we'd get to celebrate all of our hard work in theaters, just to see people unceremoniously leak the film and pass our shots around on Twitter like candy." That's what I was saying before. The artists are very unhappy with this because they were expecting a moment that they would be able to celebrate with fans all at once. They can't even talk about the movie because they're under NDA. Meanwhile, everyone else can say whatever they want about it because it's just a leaked film. And then we have Anna Gong saying, "It feels pretty awful. The only reason the movie looks so good is because there was so much passion directed toward making a truly special moment for Atla. Please support the actual release as well so we can make more movies like this." Heart sign. So let me know what you think about those artist comments. Do you stand with people watching the movie, or do you think the artists are correct in saying you should not be watching the movie? Personally, I can see both sides of it, but it's out there now and there's nothing we can do. So thanks so much for watching this video, guys. If you want to see more updates on the leaked Avatar Aang movie, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one.